In this lecture, we will discuss the classification of signals, and mainly we will discuss the signal classification known as energy and power signal. And we will discuss the basic equations and the definition and some numerical questions. Okay. For any continuous time signal, for example, x of t, we can calculate the energy uh, E by using the formula limit t tending to infinity integral uh, minus t to t modulus of x of t whole square dt. Okay, and this is for continuous time signal, and this equation, for example, any signal, let be a signal x of t. Okay, and this is the signal x of t, and assume that the signal exists from minus infinity to infinity. Okay, if that signal exists from minus infinity to infinity, and we need to integrate that particular signal uh, from minus infinity to infinity, and the signal is x of t, and we need to take the modulus of that signal, and we need to take the square, and t is the variable. So this is the energy equation. So the same equation I can modify like this. Instead of writing minus infinity to infinity, I can write it's from minus t to t. Okay, and the t is tending to infinity. Either I can use this particular formula, okay, or I can directly use the formula integral minus infinity infinity modulus of x of t the whole square dt. Always remember that we need to take the modulus value and there is a square. And when you calculate the power, so average power of the signal x of t can be calculated by using the formula limit t tending to infinity. So exactly the same thing. Okay, if we compare with the energy equation, uh, and there is an extra term which is 1 by 2t. Okay, so power is actually energy by time. Okay, so here you can see that if you are taking a limit for a periodic signal or something like that, assume that this interval from minus t to t. Okay, so the total duration is 2t. So that's why we are using 1 by 2t into the energy equation. So integral minus t to t modulus of x of t the whole square dt. Okay, and the unit of this energy is joule actually, and the power unit is watts. Okay, and this is for continuous time signal. For continuous time signal we will use integration symbols, but when you discuss discrete time signal, the energy equation for a signal x of n means if there is a signal called x of n, so the signal is in a discrete nature. So 1 2 3 etc, minus 1 minus 2 minus 3 minus 4 etc. Okay, it's something like this. Okay, and signal access from minus infinity to infinity. So for such signals, discrete time signal, we will use the formula energy E is equal to limit n tending to infinity. So here, instead of t, we will use n, and instead of the integration symbol, we will use sigma. Okay, so you can use energy E is equal to sigma n is equal to minus infinity to infinity. Towards this side, it's minus infinity. Towards right is infinity. So we can write n is equal to minus infinity to infinity x of n modulus of x of n the whole square. So this is summation formula, so we don't require any dt term. Okay, so this dt term is only for the integration, and there is no dt term in the case of x of n or discrete time sequence. Okay, it's simply the formula. Either you can use limit n tending to infinity and is equal to minus n to plus n, or you can directly apply the formula n is equal to minus infinity to infinity modulus of x of n the whole square. Okay, similarly, if you write the power equation, here again energy and power relationship is power is energy by time. So here, if we consider any signal, for example, x of n, and assume that it's a periodic signal, it's from -2 to 1, it's repeating. Okay, so assume that this n is equal to here -2, and here it is uh, 2. So if we take the total number of samples, okay, total number of samples, you will get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 samples. Okay, so there is actually 5 samples. So if you divide by time or sample number, it's not simply 2n, it should be 2n plus 1, then only you will get this number 5. So that's why instead of writing 1 by 2n, here it is written as 2n plus 1. It's very important. In the case of continuous time signal, it's simply 2t, but in the case of discrete time samples, it's 1 by 2n plus 1. And remaining part is the energy equation. Okay, so energy by time, and the samples values you should write 2n plus 1. So this is a basic formula for calculating energy and power. Now we can define what you mean by an energy signal or a sequence. In the case of discrete time signal or continuous time signal, this is continuous time signal and this is discrete time signal. In both cases, if you calculate the energy by using the previous formula, and if you are getting E between 0 and infinity, means you are getting a finite quantity. So energy is finite and the power is equal to 0. Okay, power is equal to 0 and energy, you are getting a finite quantity which is less than infinity. It can be very big quantity but is always less than infinity. Then we can call that signal as an energy signal. Next case, if any continuous time signal x of t or a discrete time sequence x of n is said to be power signal. If it satisfies this particular condition, that power p of that particular signal between the value 0 and infinity means it's again a finite quantity. And in this particular case, energy should be equal to infinity. So that is the difference. Both case energy is finite and here it power is finite. But in energy signal, power should be 0, and in the case of power signal, energy should be equal to infinity. So these are the condition of energy and power signal. Now there are signals which neither satisfy the energy signal concept or power signal equation. So that kind of signals are neither energy signal nor power signal. And you can also note down this particular point. Uh, all the periodic signals. Okay, periodic signal means a signal which repeat after a particular time interval. So after a fundamental period, it repeats. So all the periodic signals are usually power signals. So it's very easy to remember that any power signal is a periodic signal. Okay. Now we can come to the next point, that is if the signal is an energy signal, definitely it becomes a non-periodic signal. But the reverse is not true always, because all the non-periodic signals are not energy signals. But if the signal is energy signal, that signal becomes a non-periodic signal. But not all the non-periodic signals are energy signals. But in the case of power signals, uh, all the periodic signals are power signals. Okay. For a second example, the sinusoidal signals and the complex exponential signals are periodic signals and they are power signals. Okay. Now we can do some problems related to this concept. Okay. Now we can consider standard signal. We need to determine whether the following signals are an energy signal, power signal, or neither energy nor power signal. Okay. So here the signal is given by x of t is equal to a e raised to minus at into u of t. So this is a exponential signal. Uh, This is an exponential signal, and it is one-sided because there is a term u of t. Okay, so now we can see the shape of this particular waveform. Okay, so if we take e raised to minus at, okay, this is an exponential signal, exponential decaying signal. So I can draw the general behavior of this particular waveform. Okay, so e raised to minus at means a is a constant, and one more point you should remember that a is greater than 0, and here it is 0, and here t is tending to infinity. If t is tending to infinity, this e raised to minus a into infinity becomes e raised to minus infinity. So 1 by e raised to infinity, which is 1 by infinity, which is approximately 0. So when t is tending to 0, the signal value goes to 0. Okay, and when t is equal to 0, so when t is equal to 0, this becomes e raised to 0, which is equal to 1. So at t is equal to 0, the function magnitude is 1. And when t towards this left side, when t is tending to minus infinity, this equation becomes e raised to minus a into minus infinity. So which is become e raised to infinity, which is infinity. Means at t is equal to minus infinity, the signal magnitude is infinity. And when it reaches t is equal to 0, when t is equal to 0, the function magnitude is 1. And when it's reaching t is equal to infinity, it tending to 0. So this is an exponentially decaying signal. Okay, exponentially decaying signal. And here it is indicated that a into e raised to minus 80. Okay, a into e raised to minus 80 means simply you need to multiply this signal amplitude with the letter a. So here a into e raised to minus 80 means at t is equal to 0, you will get a. Okay, now there is one more component in this particular question, that is u of t. So if you write u of t, that u of t is equal to 1 for t greater than 0 and 0 for t less than 0. So you can draw the waveform like this. So this is u of t. U of t is equal to 1 for t greater than 0. So this is 0, and greater than 0 means towards right, and towards right the signal magnitude is 1, and towards left the signal magnitude is 0. Now we are multiplying these two signals, so you are getting a new signal which exists only in the positive side. So now we'll get a new signal a e raised to minus 80 into e of t. Okay, so which is a signal which exists only in the positive side. So this is 0, and here the amplitude is a. You can write a starting from a, and when it reaches t is equal to infinity, it becomes 0. So this is signal a e raised to minus 80 into e of t. And remember that e raised to minus 80 is a two-sided sequence. It contains both positive part and which exists in both t is equal to negative, when t is equal to negative, and t is equal to positive. But the given signal x of t, which is a e raised to minus 80 into u of t, exists only in the positive side. Okay, when t is equal to positive. Now the energy formula is given by the energy is equal to limit t tending to infinity, integral minus infinity to infinity modulus of x of t the whole square dt. So we need the term modulus of x of t the whole square. So we can write modulus of x of t the whole square. So we know that when t is greater than 0, the function magnitude is a e raised to minus at, and we need to take the modulus, so we'll take modulus and whole square. Okay, and for t less than 0, the function magnitude is 0. Now we can calculate the energy. So energy formula is limit t tending to infinity, integral minus t to t modulus of x of t the whole square dt. So now we can see that the integration is from minus t to t, but the signal exists only from t greater than 0 onwards. So I can write like this, limit t tending to infinity, integral 0 to t In place of modulus of x of t the whole square, you can write a square e raised to minus 2a t dt. Okay, so now we need to integrate this particular equation here. A is a constant, so you can write a square outside. So for that, limit g tending to infinity, a square, and the remaining term, if you integrate, it becomes e raised to minus 2at by minus 2a, and the limit of integration is from 0 to t. So if you rearrange this particular equation, limit t tending to infinity, a square, and you can apply the limit a square by minus 2a, and it becomes e raised to minus 2a t minus e raised to 0. Okay, and a raised to 0 is equal to 1. uh, so you can write limit t tending to infinity, a square by minus 2a into e raised to minus 2at minus limit uh, t tending to infinity, a square minus 2a e raised to 0 is equal to 1. Okay, so now if you apply the limit t tending to infinity in the first part, okay, if you apply the limit t tending to infinity, it becomes 0, because a square by 2a into e raised to minus 2, in place of t you can substitute infinity, so you'll get e raised to minus infinity. Okay, and e raised to minus infinity means it's 1 by e raised to infinity, which is equal to 1 by infinity, which is tending to 0. So you'll get this part equal to 0. There is already minus, and here is another minus, so minus into minus is become plus, and there is no t term, so you can simply write a square by 2a. Okay, so the final answer is a square by 2a. So you'll get energy is equal to a square by 2a, which is a finite quantity. So now we need to calculate the power also. Okay, so in order to calculate the power, we can use the formula limit t tending to infinity 1 by 2t integral minus t to t modulus of x of t the whole square dt. Okay, so if you compare this particular formula, we know that this much part is simply the energy equation. Okay, so I can substitute that. So limit t tending to infinity 1 by 2t integral 0 to t uh, a square e raised to minus 2at into dt. Okay, so after simplification, we know that we'll get equation like this. Okay, you can substitute directly this portion. So if you substitute the result, you will get limit t tending to infinity, there is 1 by 2t, and remaining I can substitute, which is a square by minus 2a into e raised to minus 2at minus limit t tending to infinity 1 by 2t, and a square by minus 2a. Okay, so instead of this particular equation, I can substitute the terms. Okay, this particular term. Okay, and if you simplify this particular equation, uh, here you can apply the limit t tending to infinity, so numerator and denominator becomes t, so I need to rearrange this particular formula. We need to take L'Hospital rule here. So if you take the L'Hospital rule here, it becomes limit t tending to infinity, it is a square into minus 2a into e raised to minus 2at. So we will apply L'Hospital rule here, L'Hospital rule, and denominator simply minus 4a. Okay, if we take the denominator, the differentiation at the numerator and denominator, and the next portion already there is a minus. Okay, so minus into minus plus, limit t tending to infinity, it's a square by 480. Okay, now we can apply the limits. When you apply the limit t tending to infinity, this quantity becomes uh, a square by infinity, so that becomes 0. And here you can see that again, e raised to minus infinity. Here if you apply the limit, it becomes here we need to apply t is equal to infinity, so it becomes a square into e raised to uh, okay, you can cancel these two terms, so let a square by 2 e raised to minus infinity, and e raised to minus infinity means is again 1 by e raised to infinity, which is 1 by infinity, so becomes 0. So this term is also 0. Okay, and here also we'll get 0. So finally you'll get power is equal to 0. So we got energy is equal to finite quantity, so energy is less than infinity, and power is equal to 0. Okay, so energy is a finite quantity and power is equal to 0. So we can conclude that the given signal is an energy signal. Okay, so power is equal to 0 and energy is equal to a finite quantity. So the given signal x of t uh, is equal to a e raised to minus 80 into u of t is an energy signal. Okay, it's a non-periodic signal, and we got the final conclusion as energy signal. Now we can discuss another question. Uh, it seems to be similar to the previous question, but slightly different. Uh, there is no a, okay, and this is e raised to 80 into u of t. In the previous case, which is e raised to minus 80 into u of t, now it is e raised to 80 into u of t. So now we can visualize this particular signal. So e raised to 80 means it's an exponential signal, e raised to 80. Here also this quantity, assume that e is greater than 0, and if e is greater than 0 and here t is tending to infinity, means towards the right side, and when t is tending to infinity, it becomes e raised to infinity. E raised to infinity means which is equal to infinity, and at t is equal to 0, at t is equal to 0, it's e raised to 0, which is equal to 1. So at t is equal to 0, the function magnitude is 1. And when t is tending to minus infinity, that is towards left side, the equation becomes e raised to minus infinity. When t is equal to minus infinity, it becomes e raised to minus infinity, which is equal to 0. So we can assume that the signal is exponentially growing signal. Okay, so this is an exponentially growing sequence. So previously we discussed an exponentially decaying signal. In that particular case, it's e raised to minus 80. Now it is e raised to 80. Now we can see this particular signal, and we are multiplying the given signal with u of t. So u of t is a signal which exists only in the positive direction. So this is u of t. U of t is equal to 1 for t greater than 0 and 0 for t less than 0. Okay, so you can draw that particular signal u of t. And now if you are multiplying these two signal, you will get a positive sided sequence starting from 1 and it going like this. Okay, so this is actually e raised to a t into e of t. Okay, so the signal exists only from 0 to infinity. Now if you compare this particular equation, E energy equation, and we know that modulus of x of t the whole square, I can simplify like this. It is e raised to at the whole square for t greater than 0 and 0 for t less than 0. And if you apply the limit, okay, it becomes 0 to t. Okay, and the signal is e raised to 2at, and you can apply the limit. After integration, you will get a term uh, e raised to 2at by 2a minus e raised to 0 by 2a. And if you apply the limit, here it is t. Okay, if you apply t is equal to infinity, it becomes e raised to infinity. If it is e raised to infinity, which is equal to infinity, so the overall result becomes infinity. So we got energy is equal to infinite. Okay, now we can calculate the power also. In the case of power, we know that this portion we already calculated. Okay, so we can substitute this particular equation here, because the same integration equation, and an extra term, that is 1 by 2t. So I need to multiply with 1 by 2t. So if you multiply with 1 by 2t here, okay, the equation becomes limit t tending to infinity, e raised to 2at by 4at. And here we need to apply the L'Hospital rule to simplify the limit. So I need to apply L'Hospital rule. Okay, L'Hospital rule, if you apply, I need to take the derivative of the numerator. So 2a e raised to 2at, and denominator will get 4a. And if you apply the limit t tending to infinity, it becomes 1 by infinity, which is equal to 0. So the second term is 0. And if you apply the limit t tending to infinity in this particular equation, so it becomes e raised to infinity. E raised to infinity is equal to infinity. So the power you will get infinite. So you'll get both E and P is equal to infinity. So we can conclude that this particular signal does not obey any energy or power equation. So we can call as a neither energy nor power signal. Okay. So you can see that there is only one difference if you compare with the previous question. That's in the previous question, it is e raised to minus 18 into u of t. Now it is e raised to 18 into u of t. Okay. Now we can see another question which is slightly modified, and here also it is e raised to 18 to, but the step signal is u of minus t. So e raised to 80 means it's an exponentially growing sequence. So we already discussed that e raised to 80 means it's something like this. Okay, it's exponentially growing sequence. And now we need to discuss what is u of minus t. U of minus t is equal to 1 for minus t greater than 0, or I can write, I need to multiply with minus, so it becomes t and 0. So I need to change the sign. So when t is less than 0, the function magnitude is 1, and 0 for minus t less than 0, or I can write plus t greater than 0. So you'll get the sequence, the signal u of minus t like this. It's a left-sided sequence. The function exists only when t less than 0. Okay, when t less than 0. So I can conclude the given signal something like this, which exists only in the left side, which is equal to e raised to 80 into u of minus t. Now, if you look at this particular signal, which exists from minus infinity to 0, okay, so I can simplify the limit from minus t to 0, okay, and e raised to 280, because the signal modulus of x of t the whole square can be written as modulus of e raised to 80 the whole square, okay, because the equation is integral minus t to t modulus of x of t the whole square. Now if you simplify this particular equation, finally you will get, because already we discussed all these integrations, so I can quickly go to the final result. So if you apply the limit minus t to 0, uh, it becomes 1 by 2a, because if you apply 0, it becomes e raised to 0. And the second part, in you to apply t tending to infinity, it becomes e raised to minus infinity. So you'll get 1 by 2a here. This quantity becomes 0 because e raised to minus infinity is 0. So your final result is 1 by 2a joule. Okay, you'll get a finite energy term. Now we can calculate the power also. Again, we need to substitute the energy component here. So I can substitute the equation directly here because we already simplified that portion. But we need to multiply with 1 by 2a. Okay, this is an extra term. So if you multiply this and you will get finally, if you apply the limit t tending to infinity, there is a term 1 by 4ta. So if t tending to infinity, so 1 by t is tending to 0. So this part become 0. Okay, this equation becomes 0. And the next portion, I need to apply the L'Hospital rule because in order to apply the t tending to infinity rule, we need to take the derivative at the numerator and the denominator. So you'll get this particular term. And if you compare this particular term, there is only one t term, which is at the numerator, which is e raised to minus. When t is equal to infinity, it becomes e raised to minus infinity. So which is tending to 0. So we'll get 0 and final result is 0. So we'll get energy is equal to finite and power is equal to 0. So we will get energy is a finite quantity and power is equal to 0. So we can conclude that the given signal is an energy signal. Okay. Or we can look at the behavior of this particular signal. The signal magnitude tending to 0 when t approaches minus infinity. The maximum value is 1. So if you integrate all these signal, the function magnitude is a finite quantity. But in the previous case, uh, uh, you can see that in this particular C question, e raised to 18 to u of t, if you look at this particular waveform, when t is equal to tending to infinity, the function magnitude is going to infinity. So if you integrate signal from 0 to infinity, the overall result becomes infinity. But in the first question, again, you can see that when t is tending to infinity, here when t is tending to infinity, the signal magnitude is tending to 0 and the maximum value is a. So you'll get a finite result if you integrate this particular waveform. And we can see the last question in this particular format. Okay, uh, which is e raised to minus 80 into u of minus t. So now we can visualize this particular waveform. So this is t and this is e raised to minus 80. E raised to minus 80 means it's exponentially decaying signal as we discussed in the first question. This is t is equal to 0 and here t tending to infinity, here t tending to minus infinity. Okay, so here t is equal to 0, the function amplitude is 1. Now we are multiplying the given signal with the u of minus t. We already discussed what is u of minus t, which is a left-sided sequence, and this is 1. Okay, and here it is, this is u of minus t. And if you are multiplying these two signal, you'll get a sequence which exists only in the negative side. And you can see that something similar to this, which is equal to e raised to minus 80 into u of minus t. And positive side, the function magnitude is 0. If you look at this particular signal, you can conclude that at t tending to minus infinity, the signal magnitude is infinity. So if you find the integration, the final result becomes infinite. Okay, we can verify that. So we can simplify the question. X of t whole square is equal to e raised to minus 80 the whole square for t less than 0, because we need to take modulus and the whole square, and 0 for t greater than 0. So that is different. Here t less than 0, there is a function magnitude, and for t greater than 0, the function value magnitude is 0. And the integration becomes minus t to 0. Okay, and if you integrate after simplification, finally you'll get infinity or minus infinity, or is you can approximate as infinity. Okay, because energy in negative term is confusing, because there can be power absorption or power delivery. Anyway, leave it that. We got a term called infinity. So assume that it's infinity. So energy is infinite. And similarly, if you calculate power in this particular question, you will get power is also infinite. So both energy and power is equal to infinity. So we cannot say that it's an energy signal or power signal. Okay. So now we can discuss another question. In this particular question here, you can see that there is no u of t term. It's simply e raised to minus 80. If it is simply e raised to minus 80 means it's exponentially decaying signal. At t is equal to 0, uh, it's e raised to 0, which is equal to 1. And at t tending to infinity, it becomes e raised to minus infinity, which is equal to 0. And when t is tending to minus infinity towards left side, it becomes e raised to infinity, which is equal to infinity. So it's an exponential decaying signal. Sorry, assume that this is 1, and e raised to minus 80. It's a two-sided sequence. We are not multiplying with any u of t step signal. So it's a two-sided sequence. And when you perform the integration, make sure that you are writing two terms. One is from minus t to 0, it's e raised to minus 280, and from 0 to t also, it's e raised to minus 280. And if you split these two things, okay, it's something similar to your previous question. If you take this part, uh, it is e raised to minus 80 into u of minus t. Okay, and this part is equivalent to e raised to minus 80 into e of t. Okay, if you write e raised to minus 80, it's simply e raised to minus 80 into u of minus t plus e raised to minus 80 into u of t. So we know that this particular portion, because we already calculated e raised to minus 8 into u of minus t, which is equal to infinity from the previous problem. And the term, the second term, results into a finite quantity 1 by 2a. And this quantity becomes infinity. So the final result is equal to infinity. So infinite. And when you calculate the power, again, the first part you will get infinity, and the second part you will get 0. So overall the result is equal to infinity. So infinite. So the given signal x of t is e and p is equal to infinity. So neither energy nor power signal. Okay. Now we'll discuss another question. It's again a typical question. If you look at this particular question, the given question is not simply t, it's a modulus of t. So e raised to minus a, and the t is given in inside modulus of t. So when you get such question, you need to consider the signal in a graphical way. So the meaning of this particular question, here the t is positive in this particular region, and here t is negative, and the function takes different value when t is equal to positive and t is equal to negative. So you need to write like this: when t is positive, you need to write the function like this. When e raised to minus a and t should be positive, so you need to write plus t. Okay, and it becomes e raised to minus at simply when t is positive. And when t is equal to negative, you need to write like this: e raised to minus a into t becomes negative, so you'll get e raised to at. So towards the positive side, the function will take e raised to minus 80, and towards negative, will take function e raised to 80. And if you look at this particular signal, e raised to minus 80 is an exponentially equal signal which exists only during the positive side, and e raised to 80 is an exponentially growing sequence, but it exists only in the negative side. So this is a waveform of e raised to minus a modulus of t. Okay, if you look at this particular signal, we can say that which is similar to e raised to minus 80 into u of t, which is at the right side, and the left side, which is similar to e raised to at into u of minus t. So we already discussed such question. So it's a combination of two questions. Either you can expect a question like this, e raised to minus a modulus of t, or which is equal to e raised to 8 into u of minus t plus e raised to minus 8 into u of t. Okay, you can expand this particular modulus sign by using this step signal equation, because, and in order to calculate the energy, we need to use the formula limit t tending to infinity, and here also we need to write the modulus of x of t the whole square. So when t is greater than 0, the function magnitude is modulus e raised to minus a t the whole square. When t is less than 0, you need to write the function magnitude is e raised to modulus of e raised to a t the whole square. Okay. For t greater than 0, we need to use one function, and for t less than 0, we need to use another function. So uh, in this particular energy formula, it's from minus t to t, so we can split from minus t to 0. We need to write e raised to 2a t, because this is the formula for t less than 0 dt, plus towards the positive side, that is from 0 to t, it's e raised to minus 2a t dt. Okay, and now we need to apply the limit. So first we need to integrate t tending to infinity, and if you integrate, it becomes e raised to 2at and divide by 2a, and we need to apply the limit minus t to 0 plus limit t tending to infinity and e raised to minus 2at by minus 2a, and we need to apply the limit 0 to t. Okay. And if you apply the limit, you will get we already simplified this particular equation, so you'll get 1 by 2a here, and here also we'll get 1 by 2a. Okay, after simplification. So because we already simplified this particular limit, so you will get 1 by a. So again, it's a finite quantity, so energy is finite. Now we need to calculate the power also. So in order to calculate the power, again we know the formula, limit t tending to infinity 1 by 2t. Again we need to split the integration, is from minus t to 0. Okay, that is towards negative side, it's e raised to 2at uh, dt, plus from 0 to t, it's e raised to minus 2at dt. Okay, so if you simplify this particular equation, 1 by 2t will be here. So limit t tending to infinity 1 by 2t e raised to 2at by 2a, and it's from minus t to 0, plus limit t tending to infinity 1 by 2t into minus 2a uh, into integral minus 2at and from 0 to t. Okay. Now if you apply the limits, here you can see it's minus t, so you can write limit t tending to infinity and 1 by 4t e raised to 2a, and here it is minus t, so it becomes minus 2at. Okay, and e raised to 0 is equal to 1, plus limit t tending to infinity uh, 1 by minus 4at into e raised to, this is t, actually I made a mistake here. Okay, first we need to write 0, we need to apply the limit 0. Okay, so I'll put here minus here, plus here. Okay, and here it is minus 2at minus e raised to 0, that is 1. Okay, and after applying the L'Hospital rule and after simplification, you'll get uh, the first limit and the second term equal to 0, because we already simplified this particular limit. you need to apply L'Hospital rule and you will get 0. So the total power is equal to 0. So we conclude that the given signal energy is a finite quantity and the power is equal to 0. So we can conclude that the given signal is an energy signal. Okay. So we discuss different type of exponential signal, and we got some signals are energy signals and some neither energy nor power signals. Okay. If you look at this particular signal, we know that the maximum energy of this particular maximum amplitude of the signal is 1, and when t tending to infinity the signal magnitude is 0, and also when t is tending to minus infinity the signal magnitude is 0. So when you integrate all these function, you will get a finite quantity.